Premier League season is back up and running, and I think it's time to do a little preview before we kick it off tomorrow. Now, looking at the table, as you know, Arsenal, they've started off quite well. Liverpool, they've started off quite well. And United have all started off quite well. So, we really need to make a statement tomorrow and keep up with them already, because I know there's been times where we always do start slow, but I feel like a good strong start to the season is what we need, because it's a bit of a different one this one, considering we've done the four in a row. I think to get five in a row, we are going to have to stay at our best, but that's all to play for. So we're going to find out tomorrow against Chelsea. Now I think it's just good to have a quick run through, see what we're up against tomorrow, because it's a bit of a weird one because we're still missing quite a few players. Rodri obviously is a big miss. That's going to be absolutely pivotal tomorrow, missing him. So I'm interested in how we're going to cope, and that is one of the main talking points of this one. I wanted to see about this whole Rico Lewis and Kovacic situation, because according to FootMob, they're predicting that Kovacic is most likely going to play in the Rodri role. However, there was talks from Jack Gohan that Rico Lewis has spent the days before the Community Shield going through drills in Kovacic and O'Reilly's area of the pitch, as seen as someone capable of performing there, which we have seen in the past. The main argument in favour of the 19-year-old is that he makes Man City play quicker. Now, personally, I would not be against that. I wouldn't mind seeing Kovacic where Bernardo is, and then play Rico for Bernardo there. I wouldn't be against that. I think that would be a very, very interesting thing. And like I say, because we're missing Rodri, I think we could afford to experiment that. Because Rico Lewis has always said how much he wants to play further forward, not consistently just staying at right back. So I would be very interested to see how that plays out. And then as for the rest of the team, that front three looks terrifying. Savinho, Haaland, Doku. If that's the front three, I really, really want to see how we play. And that's where Rico might work better, where Kovacic is. Because if it allows quicker play, getting it to that front three is absolute murder for Chelsea. Because I'm Doku against Cucurella, Savinho against Gusto. They're the key battles we're looking at. I think Doku can rip Cucurella to bits, and I think Savinho can rip Gusto to bits. But that's just what I'm thinking. And then Haaland against Colwill and Fofana. I would be interested to see that. And then as for the back, the only issue is though, obviously, is missing Kyle Walker. If we do try Rico there, who plays at right back? Because for our defence, we're missing John Stones. John Stones and Kyle Walker are the other miss. But I wouldn't mind seeing Akanji out wide, Diaz and Ake, then Gvardiol. I think Akanji can do as much as a shift back there as anyone. Because then that allows for Gvardiol, he can invert, leaving us a nice back three of Diaz, Akanji, Ake, Diaz, Akanji. That is a flat three with Gvardiol inverting almost alongside Rico, and then allowing Kovacic and De Bruyne to push up. And then with this whole Rico trying this new system, that can allow faster play to the front three to Doku, Haaland, and Savinho. And I think that would work, and I would love to see that be tried out tomorrow. Obviously, it's down to see what Pep comes up with, but if this is true, if Rico is developing like that sort of role in the centre of the pitch, then I would be more than happy to test that out tomorrow against Chelsea. Because I don't really see like anything that worries me apart from obviously Cole Palmer and maybe Nkunku. That Chelsea team just doesn't have the fear factor that it used to. Like it used to carry weight. You used to see names like N'Golo Kante. You used to see like Lukaku when he was actually when Lukaku. I don't know when he actually did turn up to say at this highest level, but there used to be an actual fear factor. You used to have Lukaku. You used to have Kante. You used to have Rudiger. People like mine's gone blank. Who's the goalkeeper? Sorry, my mind's gone. Mendy. Sorry, mine's gone completely blank. But that had some fear about it. Sanchez, I still see him as just like they've just gone in from Brighton still. Cucurella, Colwill, Fofana, Gusto. That's not Rudiger, Aspilicueta. It's not. It doesn't carry the same sort of name weight. They haven't made a name for themselves. So, call me naive, but I know we drew to them twice last season. But I think we've learned from that and we can evolve from that. And I think we can actually really go at them. I'll be interested to see. But obviously, I would like to see how Chelsea developed. But the Chelsea structure it doesn't carry any fear. They've got a new manager. They've got a 50-man squad. They're in disarray. The only concern is Palmer could score a hat trick out of thin air, and then suddenly they've scored 3 goals. Everyone else has had shockers, but Palmer can bail them out, and that's the magic of having Cole Palmer. Palmer can bail them out of any situation. So that's just the biggest worry we need to watch out for. But other than that, I think this lineup works. I'd be happy to see us have a go at them, and I think we could really get a good result and start strong. Because we definitely need to keep up with them. Because I feel like, personally, I think, Liverpool, I don't think they're going to slow down. I think with Slot, they're going to be the same team that they are. I think that, Slot can have them playing the same way Klopp did. Arsenal, obviously, they're just going to keep developing under Arteta. There's no drop off from Arsenal as far as I can see. And as much as it pains me to say it, who's to say Man United aren't going to slowly start creeping back up? Like maybe not immediately, but you still need to be wary of these things. So overall, we've got to keep an eye out for teams like that. We cannot drop behind too soon. And while we're here talking about teams, I think it's a good time for me to give my opinions on how the league's going to turn out. So let's start out strong, shall we? If my mouse work. Done. No, sorry. No. Seriously, though. Man City champions. I'm going to back us all the way. I'm not even going to, for a second, start doubting us. I'm not going to start going, oh, we've won it. We've done 4 in a row. Oh, I think I'm going to go with that. No. It's going to be City and Arsenal. That's the top 2. It's a given. Afterwards, though, this is when it does get questionable. And I think I'm going to go with Tottenham 3rd, which is bold. I really do like what Tottenham are doing. I seriously do. I think they're a great, strong, formidable force. And second year Ange is what's going to take him to the next height. And then afterwards comes Liverpool, because I think Liverpool are still Liverpool, Klopp or not, still a dominant force. And then now they've got the top 4, because that's the top 4 in my opinion. I think that's solid. Now it gets very tricky. Now I think Chelsea have to come in. Or do they? I don't. This is the problem, because Chelsea I do think they're a good team now, but I don't know if it's just quantity over quality. That's the problem. But I think, because then again, United. That's the thing. United keep playing on my mind. I don't know if it's just me worrying about them, thinking they're gonna get stronger and stronger. But part of me wants to put them up here. But I think I'm gonna go. And then I forget about Villa as well. Villa aren't gonna go anywhere. Villa are still the same Villa they are. I could be trying. I think I'm gonna go with that. I could be being hopeful in wanting United's downfall, but I think that's the top 7. I think Villa are going nowhere. Although they do have Champions League, that's the issue. And we saw what happened to Newcastle the second they got Champions League. They got top 4, then suddenly they dropped off. So maybe I wouldn't mind going with that, actually, on second thought. In a universe I want to be in, it's that. However, I think that's more realistic. I think the top 6 will be the big 6. And then I think Villa get Conference League again. And then after that, I think you then have to put in Newcastle, because they're still a great side. Now it gets a bit messy. So let's start out with the relegation squad, shall we? I think Leicester are going to go back down. I think they're just. I just haven't seen what. Forgive me if I'm being naive. I've not seen them do much in terms of transfer. I don't know what they've really done to stabilise themselves again. I think they're just going to go back down again. They're going to do like what Burnley did last year. And as much as I like it, Ipswich are going to do a Luton again. The gap is just so big, and I can't see Ipswich pulling off a miracle. I'm sorry, I can't. And part of me wants to put. You know what? In my bold one, I'm not going to do 3 up, 3 down. No. Southampton will survive 17th. As for the team that are going to get relegated, I think. Now it's very tricky. I'm going to say Bournemouth. I think it's going to be Bournemouth. I think they've had their time. They've succeeded really well, but I think they're going to fall off this year. Bournemouth are the one. So Let me just shuffle them about. I think Ipswich will just be bottom. Leicester and Bournemouth. Bournemouth will put up a lot of a fight, but I think that's the bottom three in my opinion. Then Southampton scrape by, along with Everton. Then Forest come after them. So that's 17, 16, 15. 14th, I think, will be Fulham. Now it's getting a bit. Now this could be. Now when you have these five, you could just literally roll a five-sided dice to decide. Because these five, in my opinion, they're just carbon copies. I will be nice though. I think West Ham will get 9th. I think they're the best of the bunch. Palace with Mateta and stuff, 10th. I like what Thomas Frank does, 11th. Brighton will drop off a bit, 12th. Where did Brighton finish last year? I can't remember now, my brain's gone blank. But I think they'll go 12th. And then 13th will be Wolves. Yeah. Is there anything I want to tweak before I lock this in? Is there anything I want to tweak about? Because that top 6 is still playing on my mind, the top 7. But I think that's what I'm going to lock in, you know. Yeah, no. I'm locking that in. That is my completed Premier League predictions for this year. That's going to be it. That's where I think people are finishing. So yeah. Any queries, leave in the comments. But I think for now, I think that is what I'm going to say. We can do an update. We can have a look. We can have a review in January and then one at the end of the year. However, I think that's where I'm thinking. I can't see anything but that top 7. Obviously, like I say, I can wiggle them about a bit, but I just can't see any of these 8 and below breaking into that top 7. I just don't. Maybe I'd swap Palace and West Ham if I was being finicky, but nah. Leaving it at that. That's my predictions. So, we'll see what happens. So, City champions, that's what we're aiming for. That's the only one that matters to me. And I don't care if I get the other 19 wrong. If I get 1 out of 20 correct at the end of the season, pray it be that number 1 spot. And we'll find out how that title defence goes tomorrow against Chelsea. So, come on City, we're going to get strong. And yeah, probably see you all on Monday for the day after review. But yeah, that's my predictions for tomorrow. Ooh, score prediction for tomorrow is a good idea actually as well. I've just thought. I'm going to go with a strong and solid 3-1 win. That's what I'm predicting. See you all tomorrow. Come on City.